Hey you guys, it's Brit. Tonight we're here with a little update on a recent video that I did about World of T-shirts and his new kind of pal that he's hanging out with, Mr Based NYC. I had a lot of questions as to who is this guy, what's his deal, why is he so closely aligned with Josh, and I have some answers. So we're going to go over his background, his criminal history, kind of who he is as a person. So I figured this would be a good, if you just want to listen only, there's not going to be a lot of things to react to, but I want to share this with y'all because when I have questions and I'm provided with answers, I like to share this as a little bit of an update. So if you're interested in who is Mr. Based and what's his history, then please keep watching. You guys, so skincare day. I am trying to go easy on the makeup, but I figured let's just sit down. Who cares? Go over this because Mr. Based is a very colorful character, and this does not make him look any better, at least in my eyes. So let's start at the top. It says, Jason Itzler, born February 23rd, 1967, is an American businessman, attorney, YouTuber, and the founder of the escort agency New York Confidential. He has been imprisoned for money laundering, drug charges, and prostitution. He was born as Jason Lubell Silk, S-Y-L-K, and is the only son of Ronnie Lubell and Leonard Allen Silk. Following his parents' divorce, he moved to New York with his mother. I just turned on my ring light a little bit, so if you see a difference, that's why. I felt like it was kind of dark, but it continues and says, while growing up, Jason was influenced by his grandfather, Nathan Lubell, who was a founding partner in the Riviera in Las Vegas. He also owned an amusement park in Coney Island for his 4 young daughters. Jason's mother remarried Ron Itzler, a lawyer in the firm of Feichben, Badillo, Wagner, and Itzler. And so the family moved to the suburbs in New Jersey. Jason attended a number of private schools, including the Elizabeth Morrow School, the Dwight Englewood School, the Hotchkiss School, and Tenafly High School. Jason spent many of his evenings in the New York Friars Club and summers in the Catskills, where he worked as a cabana boy at the Concord Hotel. Jason graduated from the George Washington University with degrees in political science and art history. He enrolled in the Shepherd Broad College of Law in the late 1980s and graduated with a JD in 1993. That is a Juris Doctor, for anyone who is curious. While in law school, he started a phone operation called M2 Communications Incorporated, where he would charge $4.98 a minute and was soon to become a young millionaire. The company averaged $1.5 million per month. Due to his mother's untimely death from cancer in 1994, he abandoned his business and was eventually forced to declare bankruptcy in 1997. His next company was called Soho Models, one of the first companies to supply webcam corn, which he ran out of a rented 8,000 square foot loft on the corner of Canal and Broadway in New York City. So obviously content creation has been part of what he does for a very long time. We're talking about before YouTube was a thing, before TikTok was a thing, before Instagram was a thing. So it's no wonder this guy sits on live and is willing to broadcast Joshua Block, whom he knows is kind of infamous online, so that he can get attention. I said in my first video, in one of my intuitions, or the way that I was looking at it was, it's very clear that Mr. Based is engaging with Josh because he knows that Josh gets attention. Josh gets clicks, whether they are good or bad. Having him on your channel is going to bring attention, and I think this is interesting going back to his early years, how creating content, no matter what that content was, is just what he does. And now fast forward to 2024 and we have him sitting on live streams with Josh, and in my opinion, acting like a friend, but it's very clear that he does not have Josh's best interest in mind. In 2001, he was arrested at Newark Liberty International Airport for trying to smuggle ecstasy into the United States. After serving 7 months in jail for the charge, he was released on parole in 2003, after which he started an escort service named New York Confidential to meet the condition of his parole that he maintain legitimate employment. Itzler was fraudulently listed as a paralegal in the office of his attorney, Paul Berggren. New York Confidential was run out of his Art Deco apartment in Hoboken, New Jersey. The company was doing well, and the office was moved to a 5,000 square foot loft at 79 Worth Street in Manhattan. In 2004, Itzler was averaging a gross of $55,000 per night. That's because we were the best, he said. At New York Confidential, I told my girls that the pressure is on them because we have to provide the clients with the greatest single experience ever, a Kodak moment to treasure for the rest of their lives, spreading happiness, positive energy, and love. That's what being the best means to me. Call me a dreamer, but that's the New York Confidential credo. It was this attention to detail and customer satisfaction that made the group successful, attracting a wide array of clients, including senators and famous athletes. There were even talks of franchising Confidentials in other cities such as Las Vegas. In 2005, authorities arrested Itzler, who pleaded guilty to money laundering and promoting prostitution in 2006. He was sentenced to 18 months in prison. On May 14th of 2012, he was sentenced to 4 years in prison for prostitution, money laundering, and drug charges after an investigation the previous summer found evidence that he had sold and provided a prostitute to a Manhattan customer. My God, I mean, this is a very colorful history, and reading all of this really, just for me, it's popping up more and more red flags as to his associating with Joshua Block, World of T-Shirts. Itzler is Jewish and has been engaged 7 times. He has dated his own girls, including the #1 escort Natalie McLennan, known as Natalia. Natalia made as much as $2,000 per hour with a 2-hour minimum working as an escort at New York Confidential. Asked if work affected her relationship with Itzler, Natalia said he would sometimes get jealous of the time she spent away from him, but not of the men. It would only bother him if she slept with another man for free. In 2010, she pleaded guilty to a charge of attempted money laundering in connection to New York Confidential. Itzler has been featured on The View. He also appeared several times on the Opie and Anthony show, including phoning in from prison. He has also appeared as a guest twice on the Howard Stern show, which is not surprising at all. So that is Mr. Based NYC. That is his history, his past, his red flags, his illegal activities, and kind of who he is. Now, I don't ever like to solely kind of brand someone as being bad just because they went to prison or they were arrested. That's just not the way that I personally operate. But I do pay attention to patterns and, you know, are you learning from your mistakes? Are you becoming a better person? Are you still being a problem? And I think it's pretty clear that he did not learn from getting in trouble once. It took multiple times, and here he is in the summer of 2024 utilizing an autistic alcoholic named Joshua Block for his own financial gain. And I think that says just enough for me personally. I think that Mr. Based is a very colorful character, and not as a compliment. I like colorful characters. I am here for them all day. But this kind of colorful is decorated with red flags and a very, very, very sketchy past that clearly he did not learn from. So those are my thoughts. I can't wait to see what y'all think down below. I know that the Joshua Block story is not something that all of y'all are interested in, but I thought, hey, in all fairness, I had questions. I was provided with this information. Let me go ahead and share it. Does this change your stance? Do you look at him differently? Like, do you see him as more of a negative impact now, knowing a little bit more of his history? I'll be looking at the comments, but that's going to be it for today. So if you like the video, please leave a like in the comments. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.